Good evening, bonsoir, guten Abend. Welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in again. In this video, I will be talking about a topic that is very sensitive to me. It is going to be a little bit of a story of how I became the person I am today and what led to that. So I felt like I could do a video of explaining that a little bit for you guys, for you to understand. So if you want to know what the story is, keep watching. Grab something to eat, grab something to drink, and let's get right into this video. So to understand a little bit of this story, we have to start way back when I was a little child. So I will be talking about racism because this is basically the thing that led me to be insecure as hell with myself. It all really started when I was in second grade. In my class, we were about, I don't really know, I think we were about 10 girls or something, 10, 12 girls. And how old was I? I was 8. Yeah, in second grade, I was 8 years old. I remember there was this girl who lived close to school, basically a house next to school. And one day she just went to every girl to the class and she's like, hey guys, I want to invite you guys to my house so we can do a little bit of crafting. It was just like, doing little things just for fun, whatever. I'm like, yeah, of course I can come, because back then I didn't live far from my school either. I just lived the street down and I was there, and it was not really far, and I was really excited because, first time really doing something with my class. And then there was this other girl, and for some reason this girl never, I think till this day, she doesn't like me. Because I overheard them, I was a really attentive little girl, and I overheard, because the girl who invited us, she said to the other girls, okay, everybody said they can come. And then the other girl who didn't like me, she asked the girl if she invited me too. And she's like, yeah, and invited her. She's like, no, she can come, blah, blah, blah. And after that, the girl who didn't like me, she like, it wasn't even her party or whatever. It's not even a party. It was not her get together, let's say it like that. It was not her house, but she came to me and she was like, you can come. And I was just like, okay, it's fine. So that afternoon, everybody after school went to that girl and I just went home. And I never told anybody about this. I think nobody really knows, but it really made me sad because I was wondering why would they not want me to be there? And back then I didn't want to put it on waste. We were 8 years old. How can you put something like that on waste? And I just ignored that. So we moved on, and the years passed. I think back then, it wasn't really, it was just a little bit of teasing then and there at school, but it didn't really bother me. I don't know. I don't remember much anymore. I just know I was teased a little bit, because one time I was even teased to the point where my mom had to come to school and tell those kids to stop teasing me. And they stopped, thank God. But sometimes it was that bad. So after that, I went to the next school. I don't know how the school systems in other countries work, but I would just kind of explain how our school system works here. So, and then I was in the Realschule in German. I think it's kind of like middle school kind of thing. And I was in 6th grade. And in our school, it was like a ritual that every year the 6th graders had to do some musical thing for the 5th graders who were new to the school. So me and my class, we had to sing the song In the Jungle. It's the Lion King song. So, and I stood there and I sang, and the 5th graders started laughing. And first I didn't know why, because I also didn't know, feel it was towards me. So, and then a few weeks and days passed, and these 5th graders were actually laughing at me and calling me a monkey because I was singing the Lion King song, typical. And these kids, mind you, I was in 6th grade, were teasing me until I was in 8th grade. That was the first time I stood up for myself and was like, okay, you guys need to stop. I don't like this. You need to stop. I don't remember what exactly I said. I just know I stood up for myself. They left me alone and they didn't do it anymore. And also because I had a friend who was friends with one of the guys who was teasing me, and she was like, okay, you guys, you need to stop. It's not funny anymore, blah, blah. So they stopped. And throughout the Realschule, it was like a lot of times where I was like, when it's bad when you are at a point where you basically don't even want to be black anymore because you feel like your problems will stop when you're white or whatever. Because then when I just like really felt sad and felt bad about my skin and that, I just tried so hard to fit in with everybody. No matter what I had to do to be part of the group, to be part of not being teased or whatever, let me just do it because it's just gonna make my life easier. During the years in the class, I was just trying to fit in the cool people's group and just doing things, just being so, it was so silly. Like thinking back, it's just so silly. Like why the hell did I have the need? Because I'm fine. I'm good, I'm beautiful, I just didn't need to be fitting into these groups to feel good about myself. But when you're younger, you just don't feel that way. I remember there was this one guy in my class who I think he just didn't like black people or whatever, because he was always teasing me. Like no matter how nice I tried to be, he was always mean. So at one point I just didn't bother about him anymore, but I really just bothered about everything. Like I really wanted so bad to be part of them, because I felt like if I was part of the cool people, everybody was gonna leave me alone. So I just tried so bad. It didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, because I don't know, I think like these girls just didn't like me. They just really didn't like me, which is totally fine. I don't know why I was stressing so much, but there are like some girls, like when I see them today, because the town where I used to live in, most of them still live there. If I see them today, we still like talk and laugh and it's all cool. But there are some people who, no, they just really didn't like me. And I know it's because of my skin color, because if I would have been white, y'all would have liked me, period. And I just was doing the most for them. Oh no, I'm thinking about the things I did when I was in my head, and I'm just like, Lois, what the hell were you doing? It's just so stupid. I just don't understand. And it was just to the point where I really fucked up with everybody in my class because I was doing too much. Because there was this cool people's group and not so cool. It's stupid to call them not so cool. We were just regular, and I was with the other girls sometimes. And then I did the stupid thing. I was going to the one girls and they were telling me bad things about the other group. So I went to the other group and told them the things the other group told me. And then they said bad things and I went and told them to the other. And then of course they figured out, and then they all hated me. And I was so scared to go to school. I was like, if I go into this classroom, I'm gonna be hated. Nobody's gonna like me, whatever. It was bad. It was really bad for a few weeks. I really was sitting by myself. I was basically alone. The only girls I had were from another class, and my little sister got into the school as well, and I was hanging with her. And it was just bad. And I just got so insecure. I just didn't want to do anything. And like I didn't want to go to school because I was just so scared of everything. And I remember then I made up with one girl of my class, and I just told her that I really felt bad about what I did, and that it was just my insecurity that drove me to. And she was like, you just have to be confident, because she was a very confident girl. She was so confident. She was like doing whatever she wanted, saying whatever she wanted. It was like so cool. I remember one day she wore a dress. It was a really nice dress, and I had a similar one. And I was always so scared, so insecure to wear the dress because of what everybody else was gonna say, because they already didn't like me. So whatever I was gonna do, they were gonna hate. And she's like, why do you care about what these people have to say? You just gotta do it for you, And this was kind of like a break, because I think a week later I wore that dress to school. People were really talking, It was not like a too short dress or whatever. It was just a colorful kind of dress and whatever. It was actually not that bad. Like today I would be wearing it. But like I kind of felt a little bit more confident after that. And I felt good about myself. But it was just not enough for some reason. Because after all, they were still saying things and they were still, you know, excluding you. So it caused me to put my guard up. Because, you know, it was just small silly remarks, but it's these remarks that really get to you and that really change it was really bad. And I just was tired of listening to all these things. But did I have a choice? Like, I couldn't skip school. I couldn't just say to my mom, okay mom, I'm not going to school anymore. I didn't really talk to my mom about these problems, which I really regret, because I feel like if I had done that, my school experience would have been a little bit different. I did start making friends outside of my class, thank God, because these people really made me feel way better about myself than the people in my class did. I was not really open, and it took me so long to open up. It was just hard, you know, to be dealing with all that, and as a small girl to be asking yourself questions like, why am I black? Why am I not lighter? Because if I was lighter, maybe, you know, these people would be as bad to me as they are. And I just really had a problem with my looks, because they were always coming for my lips. They were always coming for my lips, calling me bongo lippe. Yeah. It's so funny to say the word, like, oh my god, you guys, are you serious? They were always coming for my lips, always coming for my nose. Always. Oh, I will never forget. And it were just really these things that you just go home and you cry in the corner and you're just sad, because why are my lips so big? Why are they not small like white girls' lips, you know? And yeah, it was just really bad. I know that people went through worse during school, but I feel like to me at that time it was really the worst thing I could have ever gone through, because I just didn't understand why I was a problem, basically because my skin color was dark. But yeah, it's just really hard, especially when you're just like growing up. You are trying to find yourself, trying to find the person who you are, and then you have like people constantly telling you you're ugly, your lips are too big, you're this, you're that, you're too dark, you're too whatever, you know. Of course it's like hard to find your way, because you really have an identity crisis, because you try to identify with the black woman that you are, but you can't, because everybody finds that picture that you have and that you're trying to identify with ugly and bad, and you know, it's just so hard. But I just feel like I've really grown out of it. My school experience was really the reason why I was so insecure about everything. After I graduated from that school, I went to another school, and over there it was like a little bit, it was nicer. Like, I don't think people were racist to me over there. No, they were not. But it still didn't change the fact that I was already insecure, and that I really didn't feel good about myself. And no matter how much I was putting up, you know, the smiley face and try to be confident and loud or whatever, just, you know, it's just mechanism to hide your insecurity, basically, to hide that you're shy, because a lot of people really don't see the shy side of me. They really shy side, because everybody's like, oh, you're so funny, oh, you're so loud, and oh, we love when you're so loud. And I'm just like, yeah, but it really took me a long time to be that person, because before that I was like, I couldn't even ask a shop assistant in a shop if I was looking for something. I couldn't even do that, because like I was so insecure and I was so shy. And yeah, it's just a lot. If I could say something to these people who were bullying me and being racist, I just want to say thank you, because I'm just now realize that I'm just a way better person that you guys will ever be for doing that. I know that I'm a beautiful black woman, and I don't need no white person to be telling me different. Definitely not. And I grew. Like, this experience made me like grow as a person, and I'm grateful for that. I just don't support the way that I went through it. Racism is never okay, but you know, for some reason things like this will never stop. People will always be racist, but you know, we just have to show them who we are, that we are proud to be ourselves, and not let the racism that they show towards us make us feel any different about ourselves, you know? I know this whole rant was kind of all over the place because I was just talking and talking and talking, but this is basically a little bit of my story. I left a lot of parts out because I was still young, I don't remember it all, but I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know just what racism can do to a person, and just, yeah, what I went through as a kid. So I guess there's nothing more that I have to say about this. Yeah, I think that's it. So, beautiful people, you know, we are at the end of this video. So if you liked it, you know what you gotta do: like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to tune in the next video. Bye.